Bear with me for a second. I think Kendrick Lamar is one of the most overrated rappers to ever exist. I think in the 90s he would have just been another rapper, another B tier, C tier rapper. I think today is just so muddled down that he especially sticks out, specifically somewhere in the mainstream. He isn't really anything to write home about, I don't think. All right, this was the first record I ever bought. Good Kid, Mad City. I believe this was in 2017, maybe 2018. It was the first LP I ever bought. First record I ever bought was a Frank Sinatra 45, but that's besides the point. On this channel, I like to propose philosophical outlooks on how people view music, maybe play music, how they acquire music taste. Through this, I have enjoyed my fair share of what you would call rage baiting or engagement baiting. Because I had realized if you just say someone's favorite band, musician, artist, whatever, is overrated, mediocre, boring, they will comment. They will comment books depending on who you talk about. They will comment the bro just really thinks da-da-da. Bro really thinks this is peak cinema. I think in a meta sort of way, I would like to address how fucking dumb people are coming across. I would love to sit here and talk about music I like. Here, let's talk about some music I like. Let's talk about music that's better than Good Kid, Mad City. Me Against the World by Tupac. Banging beats. It was like his real Tupacalypse Now return to form, it felt like, where it's all personal, introspective, but he also had like that new sheen of production from the mid-90s. You know, he also had all that success. It really felt like he was reflecting back on his life in this album before he'd even passed, but he knew it was coming. It's so personal versus something like an All Eyes on Me where it's just banger after banger after banger. Not that there isn't personal songs on that, but I think this one is the most personal he ever did. That's why I like it the most. You know, even Old School, where he's paying homage to old school hip hop, which some of you motherfuckers should listen to because a lot of you don't even know about this. I don't understand how you don't know about this and you're in my comment section talking shit. I had a few people say, well, Mr. MusicIsKill, you're just not from the culture. You're just you know, how could someone like you ever understand music like rap? Got Public Enemy too. I'm sure you ain't never heard this shit. Had this for a while. I didn't really start appreciating it probably until like the past 2 years because I really like the Bomb Squad production on it now. So noisy. I think as I got more into metal, I really was like, man, this shit is awesome. I like Ice Cube's first album too, which I believe is a lot of Bomb Squad, but it needs to be more rap like this where it's like socially outspoken but positive too. I don't think that really exists anymore. More without some type of like sellout mentality, and that goes for any culture or race comment sections. And then you got the best of both worlds with Mos Def, Black on Both Sides. Conscious hip-hop, banging lyricism, rapping better than Kendrick Lamar did in Good Kid, Mad City, a better message. Everything's better about this album than Good Kid, Mad City, except maybe the fact that, well, where's the songs I could play while I'm smoking? Where's the songs I can play, I can chill out to with the boys? They're not gonna understand mathematics, even though it's a Premiere beat. Who's DJ Premiere? I will make a longer video about this, but this is just me shooting from the hip here. People take their music taste so personally. All you gotta do is say some shit and they're offended. We're in a time where I think there needs to be more people like me saying some shit that maybe you haven't thought of. Most people don't say somebody like a Kendrick Lamar is bad. If they do, you'll get the typical comments I get. Drake Glazer spotted. Drake just dropped 3 albums last night. Who gives a fuck? Kendrick Lamar drop an album? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Oh, stop with this weird idolatry of these celebrity / musicians, bro. You gotta stop it. You gotta grow out of it, please. Please grow out of it, please. Good Kid, Mad City, I listen to a lot. To Pimp a Butterfly, I listen to a lot. Damn, I listen to a lot. And when I say somebody is like fake deep, even let's go beyond Kendrick. I did a Grateful Dead one, and all the old heads are fucking mad. Why would they remove the dislike button? I can articulate why I think these things. They're just too fucking lazy to come look on the channel and look at stuff. And then the people that do, a lot of you, realize that I would rage bait you into watching my full video, and then you'd be like, oh damn, he doesn't really mean it that way, huh? For me, music means growth. It means change. Your opinions can't always stay the same, and if they do, that means some shit really cut through it. I always look at Jay Dilla. I like Jay Dilla very early on, and I never switched. You know, RZA, same thing. I never switched. Knowledge, never switched. Plenty of friends and plenty of peers acquaintances, you know, they rock with a Rock Marciano or a Brownsville Caw or an MF Doom, right? And then all of a sudden they get a little too mainstream, a West Side Gun, and then they dip out. They peace. They're the same ones that were touting Denzel Curry's praises. The next minute they're saying he's too fucking mainstream, he's a piece of shit. Go listen to this guy instead. And then in 5 years they do the same thing, rinse and repeat. Growth in music doesn't necessarily need to mean new. Kendrick Lamar is the toy. He's the new toy. Except the thing is, a lot of us have been listening to fucking Kendrick Lamar since 2014, 2015, 2016. It's new to you because you like Drake and Kendrick beef, and that was the first time you were exposed to his music or Damn or whatever. We had knew before that. I am older than you. We had known before that. I was done with Kendrick before the Drake beef even happened. A lot of people want to say I'm not from the culture. If I'm not from the culture, that's fine. But you have fucking piss poor taste in music. And you give me a dissertation about his life and his lifestyle and all the bullshit that happened in his life. I understand that. As a person that makes music, I've done the same thing. But you know, I've went through my own traumatic things, as I'm sure most viewers have. Their own terrible things that have been way worse than what happened to Kendrick. Things that have been easier than that happened to Kendrick. But just because you're a celebrity or some type of clout that you have, that doesn't mean you're alienated from critique or straight up, I just don't like it. I don't even need a reason to justify it. I could literally say I don't like the sounds he's making. Bing, bop, boom, bing, like corny, dumb. If somebody else did that, you would say the same thing, right? Rage Against the Machine, those guys got really mad at me too when I made the Rage Against the Machine is overrated or bad or whatever I said. Again, it's those 40-year-olds that have no good taste. I could say the same thing about AC/DC. These are very like low-hanging fruit bands, but I know they're the ones that are going to get the views and they're the ones that are going to get mad. And instead of maybe wanting to grow, they're just going to say, well, it's what brings me back to the good times, you know, back in the fucking 19 whatever the hell, and it brings me back to the good times when everything was chill. Then I proposed the idea of maybe it's okay to not be comfortable with your music taste. Maybe it's okay, and this could be for a whole life thing. Maybe it's not okay for you to be comfortable all the time. Maybe you should challenge yourself. That's not wrong of you to challenge yourself, you know? You know how much music I've consumed and waded through, all the bullshit music I listen to? I'm at a point now where the music I do listen to, most of y'all wouldn't consider music unless you're into metal. Even some of the free jazz stuff I listen to, most of y'all would just see that as noise. Because I'm on a different level than you. Not all of you. I know a lot of you, you know, I've had great comments, great conversations with some of y'all, you know, talking that you like Gojira and Opeth, and that's not really my thing, but especially as the years go on, like I appreciate the progressiveness and things people are willing to try, but I'm also there like, okay, well, why don't you check out this band too? Check out Malignancy. Very good technical brutal death metal. It's not just caveman bullshit. They really do have some technical ability in all they're playing. The drum parts are amazing, and Ronnie's fucking guitar playing is amazing too. But things like that would never reach a Kendrick Lamar fan. Somebody listening to Bob Dylan, they're not gonna know a Repulsion. You know, somebody listening to Bjork, they're not gonna know any black metal. They're not gonna know any grindcore. You know, people that don't put money into music are the ones that seem to have a very high opinion, you know, high regard for what they say. I don't mean you went to a fucking show. I don't mean you went to 5 shows. I mean you genuinely care about music. You want it to do good. You are into it. It's an art. It's what you breathe. It's one of the first things you think of when what is life worth living for, you know? Those are the people that I like talking to about music. I don't like talking to fucking Joe Schmo telling me top 5 rappers on Spotify right now are the top 5 rappers ever. And then in 10 years, he's going to be sitting there working at a fucking retail job telling the kids coming through now, man, when I was listening to music, that truly was the best of times. Blow me. And that's a lot of y'all in my comment section. A lot of fucking weekend warrior tourists. I want to propose the idea too of maybe if you like music, you support it monetary wise. People can keep leaving comments and keep streaming these songs. You don't really care about music. That's the difference between you and I. You don't care about music. And I think if you did care about music, maybe you'd have better taste. Music has been my whole life since I've been a teenager. It's something I really care about. And that's listening to music too. I'm always looking for new stuff. I'm always got my ears open. I'm always trying to keep learning, keep going, talking to musicians, trying to learn more. At the very end of this, I do want to say like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole or Grateful Dead or Rage Against the Machine or AC/DC or whoever, right? that is mediocre to me, you know, that could still be a great band to you, or a great rapper or musician to you. So don't let what I think get in the way of that. As I've said before, like what you like. If I say some shit, leave a comment as to why you think, you know, the melody and this riff and this da 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 is good. I like that. But to dismiss everything and just say some bullshit, I guess the only thing I have to say to that is go fuck yourself. Music is kill.